Ground level theology, oh yeah, making sense of the concepts, loud and clear, no need to be a scholar, no need to be elite. Ground level theology, making it sweet.
I am the host of Ground Level Theology, and with me is the co-host to Ground Level Theology, David Hoffman. David, welcome.
I am welcome, I am he.
Hey, welcome back, folks, to Ground Level Theology. Oh, man, this is going to be a hilarious, interesting deep dive. Oh, my goodness. We are going to be recapping the phenomena that is this man. His name's Hashem. He claims to be the Mahdi, which is really just kind of like an Islamic end of times kind of messianic figure. But he's making far more claims than that. So we're going to dive into this, folks. A new cult coming around, and a lot of people are wondering, is he the Antichrist? Right? There's some stuff that he's saying. And he's a little spoilers. I do think he is Antichrist, but I don't think he is the Antichrist. So let's go
The
ahead.
Antichrist would be proud. I think the Antichrist would be proud, but I don't know if it's him. Guys,
this is it's ridiculous. It is a ridiculous cult that has come up. And I kind of wanted to start out before we even dive into this guy's history. I just wanted to start out with a little bit of like how ridiculous this cult is. With their proofs that they're real. The proofs that they are legitimate, that this guy is who he says he is. Oh man, and I just scrolled out of it. Oh, I'll look it up later. But they have a YouTube channel, and you'll just have to take my word for it. So these are proofs that I took from their YouTube channel. These are listed proofs for anyone to come to their YouTube channel and see. There's 12 of these proofs that he is the Mahdi. He is this guy. And I want you to listen to the proofs that he is someone that you should look to as your spiritual authority. I mean, he does claim to be the successor of Jesus Christ, the successor of Muhammad, and the true one Pope. Deep claims this guy has for himself. All right, so the proofs, and I'm giving these in order according to the YouTube channel. Number one, he is known by his apparent will. So he says that he is who he says he is, and you know this is true because he said it. That's nice. In his will. That he is willing to proclaim this, and so there it is. That's going to kind of be a reiteration here in a second. The second one, he flies a flag with the words allegiance to Allah.
Wow.
Now, folks,
flag? I don't got a flag.
That is the second proof. He flies a flag that says allegiance to Allah. Now, folks, this cult is a syncretistic cult from Christianity and Islam, but it's mostly Islam. So he kind of uses Jesus a little bit. He refers to Jesus a little bit in the Bible at times, but it's just crazy. It's off the walls. So yeah, he flies a flag that says allegiance to Allah on it. Now, number 3, this is a different guys, this is a different proof. All right? This is proof. This is irrefutable proof that he is who he says he is.
Goodness.
This flag that says allegiance to Allah in it is black. It's a black flag. Therefore, you know it is true.
Oh, that's so punk Islam.
Hey, David, it's impossible to make a black flag that says allegiance to Allah in it, right? It's not something you could just purchase off of Amazon as a custom build.
No, might even get you on an FBI watch list. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
man.
know maybe if it said pro-Palestine, you'd be okay, but because it's allegiance to Allah, I don't know. But you know what? But right now, it sounds like almost anybody could do it. You know, is this like a Craigslist? Mahdi? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what's so funny about this,
Like,
guys. Three of these proofs are just.
I know.
I can state it. I just buy a flag off of Amazon that's custom ordered to say allegiance to Allah on it, and boom! Apparently, I am giving irrefutable proof that I am the Mahdi.
Yeah, by what standard? It's like, oh man, real high one.
There's
gotta be more though, right?
Yeah, here's where it gets a little bit more narrow. But here's where I also you can kind of see this guy's sort of cherry picking things that will fit to him.
It's like you're looking in the mirror. You're also gotta be 6'4", you gotta weigh 250, you gotta be wearing a blue sweater. Oh my gosh, I think it's me the whole time.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny because some of the stuff that he uses to narrow down can actually even be general in and of itself. We're gonna tackle this a little bit more. But the fourth one is probably the most narrow, and clearly he chose this because it is it fits his standard. But he's Egyptian. So apparently he took something from a text that says the person is going to be Egyptian. Now the interesting thing about this is he ties this to sort of this prophecy or something where, you know, sort of like the two witnesses of Revelation. But in this, one of them will be Egyptian, one of them will be like a Yemen or something. And so one of his like cult mentors that he actually broke away from, that's the irony of this. He broke away from this and denounced the cult that he had learned all this stuff from and then started his own cult. But he uses that person as the proof because he needs the Yemenite or whatever that person is to be the Egyptian too. So there's sort of a funny thing to that. So that's the fourth one. All right. The fifth one. The fifth one is he is from the family of Muhammad. Muhammad being, you know, Israel's prophet. I mean, not Israel. Islam's prophet. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and show you a very famous video now that's surfacing around on this guy. But we're gonna dive into this one a little bit further. So let me see if I can find this real quick. I have these all labeled, so I think this one is gonna be it. I will switch here in a second. So let me pause that so I can make it big. And then here we go. Or maybe keep that small. There we go. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the wrong one. That's the later one.
My goodness.
Actually, yeah, it's this one. Hold on. Let me put this one up.
He became the inheritor of the messengers, the successor to Jesus, and the father of mankind, the true Pope. And as every prophet did before him, David naming Solomon, Moses naming Joshua, Jesus naming Simon Peter, so too did Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi name his successors. On his deathbed, he dictated to Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam that after him would come 12 imams who would be to him as the disciples were to Jesus, except that they would follow in succession. And after them would come 12 Mahdis, the successors of Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam. The Mahdi, Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Askari alayhi salam, the remnant of God on earth, Baqiyatullah, is the son of Narjis alayhi salam, a descendant of Simon Peter and of Imam al-Hassan al-Askari alayhi salam, a descendant of Muhammad Rasulullah. And so in him is the Jewish blood of the apostles of Christ, the blood of the Christians of Europe, and the blood of the best of creation, Muhammad and Ali alayhim salam.
All right, so there we go. He claims Muhammad succeeds Jesus, and later he sets up his own sort of church. There's a high degree of irony here when you understand Islam, to say that he has the Jewish blood, especially when you have apocalyptic texts saying, because Muslims hate Jews. That is their opponent. That there will be the time of judgment when they're going to essentially genocide the Jews, and the Jews will go around trying to hide themselves behind a rock, but creation itself, the rock will scream out to him, hey, there's a Jew hiding behind me. And then for him to say that, like, oh, he has Jewish blood is like, what?
Wow. Man, his blood is halal. Like, oh my gosh.
So
like literally, man.
That's crazy, but so hey, that's just an aside to what he just said. But also, he's claiming to be from the family of Muhammad, that he is succeeding from the family, that he is of that lineage. Now, here is the interesting thing about that. So I just gave you the clip where he's claiming that he's coming from that lineage. He says that actually this next clip might continue it. But actually, no, I don't think it will. But this one, so how is he really from the lineage of Jesus, the lineage of Muhammad? Because that's a big thing, right? That's a bold claim. That's also a claim we can't really check.
Right, go figure. How convenient.
Right, but
you can't check it. Ha ha ha.
How do you even ground that in truth? Like, how do you establish that as the fact, other than I merely said it, which is the first proof?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Well, I said it, so yeah, I know. Yeah.
Well, his way of making this come true is really interesting, and I'll let you listen to this. Here it is.
The line of succession became through the soul. And so Ahmad al-Hassan alayhi salam is also not blood related to Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam. Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam is the Imam that doesn't have any seed from his loins. And so his successor is from the soul world. There are also narrations that state that this is one of the signs that you will know the Qa'im by.
Did you hear that? So he doesn't have to be of the line of Jesus or the line of Muhammad to be the family of Muhammad or that line. It's his soul. And he goes on to talk about how just as there's physical parents, there's physical soul parents. He's saying he's the soul lineage of, and it's hilarious. It's hilarious that he does that, because it's like any one of us can say that now. How do we check? How do we check that your soul is the lineage of that person? Do we have a soul paternity test? Um,
Yeah. Yeah, you are. Oh, sorry. You're only like 60%.
right.
Sorry. You're like 60% of everything.
So he
It's like,
uses
what?
that for
That's not
Muhammad. He
helpful.
uses that for Jesus, and then he uses that even for his mentor, which I just talked about that he's Egyptian from his mentor, who's the other guy that he actually like condemns, you know.
Oh,
But he
goodness
still says it
gracious.
as that sort of lineage from that sense. All right, so that was number 5.
How convenient.
Yeah. Real solid stuff from these guys. Number 6
Mhm.
is that he will rise from the west, but his origin is from the east.
Wow.
So you can just be an American. You can be Canadian, Mexican, you can be just as long as you're on the west, right? And your origin is from the east. Now, David,
Mm,
scientifically,
mm.
I mean, technically, you take an ancestry.com. I think all of our DNA comes out to like Africa, right? Like where all our all of our origins is the east.
Yeah, I was in Mesopotamia between the Tigris and the Euphrates.
Yeah,
That's where my
exactly.
family originated. Arguably, my parents' parents, my first parents. That's where it all began, back in the good
Oh
old
man.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And the
well,
more generalized part of this too is the rising language. So it says that
right.
he will rise. So you don't even have to be from the West. And he's not. He's from Egypt. He just quote unquote rose out from the West.
Yeah, he's like, it's okay. You start heading east long enough, you'll be at the west. Like,
Well,
you know what
I'm
I mean?
west of this rock.
Well, yeah, what side am I on? Well, it's faster to go east. What? I don't know. It's like around the world in 80 days. But
Oh man.
and this hits because I'm actually, um, and the week to come, I'm I'm preaching on when the crowds are murmuring at the Feast of Booths in John chapter 7 about, so Jesus has just cleared the air, finally, landed the landmine argument that, hey, it's okay for me to heal on the Sabbath. But the people still don't like him and they move on to, well, where'd you come from and where are you going? Because they don't trust his teaching because, like, well, we know where you're from. You came from Nazareth and nothing good comes from Nazareth. And then what do you mean you're going somewhere where we can't go? It's like, well, where would you be going that we wouldn't be able to go? You're a human. And I think of that language and it's like, wow, you're not necessarily claiming to be the Christ or a Christ, but it's like, oh, you're able to rise from the West, even though you're from the East. Like, yeah, how does that work? Well, where'd you come from, and how are you going to go there? Like, you're in
Sorry.
Egypt. No, you're fine. It's like you're in Egypt, but then you're going to live somewhere else. So this is, oh, I get it. Like, how convenient. It's like, so really, no matter where I am, it's like that must be nice. Um, and yeah, you gotta keep going down these proofs because just like, okay,
Yeah,
and
we're
so like because at the same time it's like, okay, these distinctives, uh, maybe not. It might not be something anyone can fit. In any all these descriptions. Maybe not everyone fits these descriptions, but you're
well,
not the only person to fit these descriptions. You
yeah,
know,
what's
and
funny is
so
all except being Egyptian, we fit. I mean, if we just bought a flag with it, like
yeah,
we fit it,
yeah.
right? And if I was to use the soul origin thing for being Egyptian, I would do that too. I'd be like, well, Egypt is not merely a physical place. You know, it's a...
Oh no, it's so much more than that, man.
Yeah. So,
And I'm from the family of Muhammad. You know, not all of Abraham are of Abraham.
yep.
Okay, not everyone. You don't have to be actually related to Muhammad to be in relation
So
with
he already
Muhammad.
disqualifies himself, but he has to do sort of a mumbo jumbo to meet something
Yeah.
that he's creating. He's
Oh, man,
creating this cult.
Yeah, how cultish of you. Like, this is a perfect start. I wonder how Manson would have done it.
Well, here is, I think, the most irrefutable proof of this
Okay.
one, and that's that
Okay.
his followers wear uniforms. Watch this powerful, powerful testimony right here. Let's
Wow.
put this up. And for those of you on Spotify, there are a bunch of people wearing black with black beanies. And on screen it says the proof number 7 is that an imam prophesies, it is as if I see them, their clothing is one, their stature is one, their beauty is one, and their attire is one. They have uniforms. That's how you know.
Wow.
That's how you know it's true.
Oh my gosh.
Which
is
is
why...
like, do you remember those cults from like the 70s and 80s that would go into like those buy up land and all wear the like togas or whatever?
I can't do it. This is my heathen side. I think of the Jake Gyllenhaal movie Bubble Boy when he runs and I don't know if you ever watched that movie. He literally gets hit by a bus, and the bus is being driven by a cult, and every guy was named Todd, and every girl's named we're all Todd
my
and
goodness.
Lorraine, and he's like, what are you talking about? And they're all, yeah, we're a part of the Sunshine family. And they're all wearing, the same uniform. And it's like, are you kidding me? And I don't know. I guess Blue Man Group would have counted. I guess the Minions and Despicable Me count. I'm trying to.
Well, I mean,
We have a
here's the thing,
uniform,
David.
for goodness sakes.
We can joke about this, but you can't manufacture this. It is impossible to get a group of your followers to wear the same thing you do.
Yeah, I mean the Roman Catholic Church did it, with all the nuns and the popes, And
I mean, you can't control what people wear, especially in a cult. That's
never seen. I didn't have to wear a uniform when I went to private school. You don't have to wear one when you go to work. I mean, do you know how hard it is to get people to wear, like, really, how hard it is to get people to wear the same thing? Like, I have triplets, and I can barely get them to wear the same thing. He must be the leader, the long lost hope.
Oh man, yeah. And guys, I'm not even making this up. I'm literally I'm taking his YouTube videos. You can see this. He has a YouTube channel. These are his irrefutable proofs. And I just did the homework for you. I watched the 1-minute video and then I just wrote down the proof that they said was theirs. These are the 12 irrefutable proofs, and we're on number 8 now.
That's like when you're going in for a job interview and they go, like, how do you qualify for the position? Well, I wrote a resume to be interviewed for this position.
I declared,
wow,
I am hired.
Yeah, I identify as hired.
This is why I wore this shirt right here. It says pastor. I just declared it. I walked into the church and I just declared it, and they just said, okay, well, we'll see you on Sunday.
Yeah, it's just like, and you've seen it on billboards and stuff. It's like, okay, you didn't have to like write that down. Like, that's not something you need to put on the list of, like, I feel like when I'm reading like descript, it's like an infomercial of like, well, what else can it do? It's like it. Oh, check out the sham! Wow, it can also be perfectly packaged in this box to be shipped to you. Oh, wow, and it's like we all wear the same uniform. I just so far I'm not convinced.
Right.
Like I'm like trying to be an open mind. It's not because I just disagree with you in general. It's like you need way more than this.
Now,
Like
the next one is narrower, and that is that he has to come after Abdullah's death. But when I watched that
That's
video,
better.
and I'm not going to show it because, like I said, we don't have time for this many videos.
No, I know.
I'm giving
That's
you a
better.
synopsis, and we're already almost a half hour in.
Sorry.
But it's hilarious how bad these proofs are. I thought that there was going to be better proofs. I thought he was going to do the homework, the cherry pick verses, and completely distort text so that he would be a manifestation of this or something. And he didn't even do that.
Man.
So anyways, he's going to come after Abdullah's death. Now, when I watched that video, it doesn't even cite a text of that as a prophecy. And he does that later on. I mean, like, we all come after that, technically. So if he just did that now, it would... So that's very convenient. And I also didn't see a text where he cited that would happen. A prophecy. It's just some dude said that, and he uses that as a prophecy. Number 9 is that he would have non-Arab followers. Can you believe that? So.
Oh yeah, because I think any real Arab, like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, oh, why don't you have any? Well, because the real Mahdi, I don't have Arab followers. It's like that's when I'm the real deal, because I don't have the typical people that would prove that I'm the real deal. It's like, okay.
Yep. And okay, so number 4 is non-Arab followers. Number 10 is he declares himself the Mahdi. And I'll show us that real quick, because this kind of feels like number 1, where he just is known by his quote-unquote apparent will, which is just like self-declaration.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. Yeah, like that's not like I wouldn't want that to be the only proof, but that I would actually validate that as that's a pretty good proof. A real Mahdi is gonna say that they are the Mahdi, like that. At least like I can get behind that.
Yeah, I mean, you
Christ
can at
declares
least
himself the Christ. Like
yeah,
at least he's
declare
gonna
it.
be like that's hello, my name is. Like okay, you're gonna need more than that. But if you surprised me if you didn't do that.
So here it is.
Yeah,
here's his declaration. Okay, it says the Mahdi must inform the people that he is the Mahdi, otherwise they will not recognize him. Just so you know, I mean, it talks about, Joseph declared, he had to come out and say that he was his brother before he was recognized by his brothers. That would be because it's been a long time and he grew up since then. But I wanted to get to this part of the slide where it says this is proof because in doing so he fulfilled the narration. And another proof that he really is the Mahdi. He just had to say it. Irrefutable proof. I just got 2 of these proofs. 2 of the 12 proofs are just declaring it yourself.
Not bad. You really did get a 2-for-1 deal.
This is an easy gig. Now number 11 he has a large, diverse group of followers. You might say you just said that, Mike. You were repeating yourself. You said that he has non-Arab followers. No. That's another twofer. All right. A lot of these center around the same thing. So, and just so you know, this quote unquote large, diverse group of followers is like 200.
Oh my gosh, yeah. But yeah, not all non-Arabs are the same.
Yeah.
Okay. You and I, we could both walk in there and be like, look, 2 non-Arab followers. but we're diverse.
And then
But
the
I'm
last
not doing
one,
that.
number 12, is that he appears at 32 declaring that he is, and then it reemerges at 40. Now that's pretty narrow. The only
Yeah.
real thing that he actually cites is regarding the age of 40, but even in the video, it makes
years.
qualifications to his age, because it says he
Ah.
declared it at age 32. But then he went back into like hiding so that he could sort of start to build up a following before he came back out at 40. And then that's how you know.
Way to post and ghost, dude.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
So
Man.
I don't know. I think that one kind of like works against him when you really read what's being said rather than reading between the lines so that there's a proof.
Oh my gosh. Hi, I'm here to let you know that I'll be here in the end. It's not the end yet, but I'm here to let you know I'll be here in the end.
Because
Like,
technically, if you go by that, I mean, if it says that he will be out by age 40, then he disqualifies himself by age 32.
it's like, are you I'm sorry. Now I'm just laughing at myself. It's like, no. I appeared at 32, but I'm emerging at 40.
It's exactly.
It's like, what are you
it.
saying? It's like, no. That's when I appeared. Now I'm emerging. It's like, okay. Like, like, I don't know. No. That was the appearing, Monty. Now I was like, ooh, yeah. Now we want the 40-year-old Monty. We don't want the 32-year-old. We don't want the trailer. We want the full movie.
Yeah. So guys, those are
all. That's all 12. And
that's all 12 proofs put out on YouTube. Right? It's like the second line, so that you can come to this cult.
Like that's I'm gonna go find your YouTube. What's in your description about the About Us tab, and this is your rock solid, no holes argument.
And so they have like testimonial things. I haven't been able to find them. But some of these testimonials are people saying like he resurrected my dad from the dead. Noticeably absent in the testimonial is the dad.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's, oh my god. Oh gosh, that's funny.
It's just it's hilarious, and people are making fun of him right now. It's
holes everywhere.
Yeah, it's deserved. But let's kind of shift away now from the proofs, because those are the proofs, and you can just see that it's ridiculous. He has a very low bar for himself, and in fact, many of us actually fit the standard. We can do a little mental gymnastics to meet the other part. So yeah. Now let's just find out a little bit more about this guy, Hashem. In the early 1990s, now some of this information does come from a article. We'll see that a little bit later, but Godlogic 2.0 through his channel Life Reacts, same dude, but on the channel Life Reacts, has kind of like a 20-minute documentary on this guy where a lot of this information comes out. So go watch that. I'll have the video in the description. I'll try and have some videos in the description if you want to kind of hear a little bit more from Christians refuting this guy and kind of giving the clips, so you can not only see what this guy is saying but also the refutation. Life, he kind of chronicles this a bit. And so in the 1990s in Mooresville, Indiana, Hashem, this guy, this cult leader, he goes to Indiana University. This is a white dude right here, and he gets a degree in comparative religions. In 2003, he wrote and directed a comedy. It's called Apache Tears, and then he switches then to doing documentaries on cults. And his main focus in this one is actually dismantling a cult called the Raelians, which are like a cult centered around UFOs and stuff. And so in 2007, he develops. I mean, his thing at that point in time in his life is taking down cults so that people won't fall for it. So he's guarding against cults. That's his whole thing. So he learns comparative religions. He's learning this stuff. He's learning what cults are doing firsthand because he's trying to learn. He's trying to penetrate into, get footage, and then expose these cults. So he's getting a front row seat on how cults work so he can dismantle them. So he does this documentary on the Raelians. In 2007, the Raelian cult actually sues him and the guy who partnered with him, as well as Indiana University, to try and get the footage from him, even claiming that they were semi-blackmailed because he said if the leader didn't step down, the film would be released. That's kind of an interesting thing, a legal thing, because I kind of see where that technically is blackmail.
Yeah, it sounds like an ultimatum.
Yeah,
and maybe not full like threat, like because your life's in danger. But yeah, it sounds like an ultimatum. Like it's like, or what?
Yeah.
Like I do this, or what?
Yeah, and so I mean that sucks. I mean, you would be on his side. It's like, well, you should be able to expose people if they don't actually just vacate their position of power that they're using to exploit people. But that is also kind of like a semi-blackmail. So it kind of doesn't turn his way. By the next year, he flees the U.S. to Egypt, going back home, because of the lawsuit of the Raelians. And in 2011, in an interview, he says that the FBI was actually raiding his house for computers and materials for the old site that he had because he lost the site. He lost the lawsuit.
Oh man.
Later,
That's
he
crazy.
joins a cult called the White Banners of the East under Ahmed al-Hassan, who he'll say he's kind of a successor too, but he'll also actually backstab and say that this person's not correct. And in 2013, he actually starts his own cult called the Black Banners of the East. He just left the White Banners of the East. Now he's the Black Banners. So that's kind of where the black
That's so much cooler. He must be right. That's a way cooler name and color. That's another proof.
Yeah. So it is. It's one of the proofs. It's two of the proofs, actually. Because he puts allegiance to Allah in it, which is irrefutable.
It's the real deal. I tell you.
Now, he did create his own text, his own Bible, quote unquote. And that's called The Goal of the Wise. But I want you to hear as Life, Godlogic 2.0 Life, as he reads a portion of this text, and hear how crazy this is. And also, like, hey, when you think in your mind, if you were to create a religion, kind of just think like, wouldn't you kind of do this? I mean, it's very. I'll let you guys just hear this.
This out on page 243 in this book. The header is The Pleasures of Paradise. Pay attention to this conversation that's being had. One of the things that humans always think about and wish for is sex. For that reason, paradise was described as having houris and young boys. I said, I always thought the houris were allegorical. The Imam said, it is women, son, beautiful women, like no one has ever seen. I said, and the everlasting boys? The Imam replied, they are also for sex. I asked, are they for the women? The Imam said, they are for the men and the women. I asked, so if a woman in paradise wants to be with a houri, she can be, and if a man wants to be with a man, he can be? The Imam replied, yes, in paradise there is no right and wrong, halal or haram, allowed and forbidden. The rules for people of paradise are not like the rules for people of the earth. I told you, son, don't compare this world to other worlds. Everything a person wishes for comes true. Since sex is what most human beings think of and desire, God made these things exist in paradise.
I'm sorry. I just muted myself the entire time. Yeah, but so he you can see the despicableness of this religion in you can do whatever you want. There's no moral laws in the new heaven.
Right.
Anything that you do here, that's just to get into it. But once it's a free for all out there. All right, let me just pull up where he declares that he's the Pope, and then see his beef with the Pope.
I am Abdullah, the successor of Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam, the successor of the Comforter Ahmed, the successor of Simon Peter, the successor of Muhammad, the successor of Jesus Christ. I am the true and legitimate Pope. I am the proof upon the Christians. I am the son of the Muslims through my father, and the son of the Christians and the Jews through my mother. I am the son of the East through my father, and the son of the West through my mother. I am like Zulkarnain, who with one horn in the East and one in the West, and I am the inheritor of all that lies between. I am more knowledgeable than any false pope, and I am appointed by name in the will of the prophets. My name is also on the tongue of Isaiah, who prophesied of the righteous servant, and he said, he will see his offspring and prolong his days, and the will of the Lord will prosper in his hand.
All right, so he declares that he's the Pope. Let me just throw up a couple things now, because he has real beef with the Pope. And that's where he just declares that the Pope is the false Pope, and he's going to die. So let's go ahead and do this real quick.
So this very special banner was raised in front of the television cameras and in front of the entire world on Easter Sunday, just hours before the Pope passes away. And the believers that were there, they were wearing shirts that proclaimed that there was a new Pope, a legitimate Pope, that the true heir and successor of Jesus Christ and Simon Peter and the prophets and the messengers, the true Pope of Christianity and Islam and all religions is actually here, and he's the riser from the family of Muhammad. And
all right, and then I'm going to play the second part to this because I accidentally clipped it into two. So here's the second part of that.
For that proclamation to take place from the very home of Catholicism, right? And it to result in a few hours later in the Pope passing away, this is not a coincidence. This is a miracle, like many miracles that have taken place in the Bible.
All right, Dave. You flew a flag that said that that's not the true Pope, but the true Pope is actually you as the cult leader that you are. And then the Pope dies a couple hours later. Is that a miracle just as that of the Bible? Is that like walking on water? Calling down fire to sacrifice in front of the 400 prophets of Baal?
Okay, hear me out. It's a really nice banner. Okay, just and it's not. I didn't get the little ones. You know, it's not like on the little toothpick.
It's gold leaf.
It's a real banner. Okay, it's like going past the camping world with all the campers with the big flag. It's a nice big banner. Okay, and everyone's seen it, and everyone knows now that I'm the Monty. Everyone knows. It's so big. Okay, you don't know this, but I've been working with an airport, and I think they're going to start flying it over the beaches on the back of this airplane. My banner, so that the world may know.
And that's how you know
I
irrefutable proof.
and if you can read it, it means I know how to explain it, and more proof. Like it just, I'm now. If you're annoyed, I'm sorry. Like it's over. I'm beating a dead horse. I'm overly sarcastic. That's maybe just me. But like these aren't real proofs. Like that's you are just taking like it's proven something. These are 12 things proving something.
It's proof. I mean, this guy studied the cults, and now he's implementing what he learned. That's what it's proof of. I mean,
and if it's not broke, don't fix it, right?
Right.
Like if this is what works, don't reinvent the wheel. Don't reinvent the cult. Yeah, starting a cult for dummies. You know? Like this guy's got it.
And this is a guy from, out in Indiana, that learned comparative religions. I want to highlight now an article. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up, but give me a second to do it because I'm going to have to switch sources.
This is, man, we need to get uniforms. I don't know if we need to wear hats or a beanie. I know we got a cool logo.
Oh, this
I
is
don't know.
interesting. It's not letting me. Oh, there it is. All right. Let me resize this real quick. Uh-oh. Sorry about this, folks. You know me. All right. I believe that should be fine. All right. Good. Perfect. All right. So, from the Guru, author right here, top right corner, B. Scofield. Title, Meet the Doomsday Cult Taking Over the World. That's very generous, considering only like 200 people. But two young filmmakers spent years exposing cults. Now they run one, essentially. But I wanted to show this because this person right here, this author right here, B. Scofield, really exposes them a bit more. And so I just wanted to further expose. So let's read a couple of these where it says that he says, this is a quote, "I will show you a way to kill him without no one knowing about it." This is actually the cult leader telling a follower to kill someone. And he said, "Hey, I'll show you how to kill someone without people knowing it."
Wow.
That's real cult behavior. And then probably the most cult behavior right here, according to several former members, Hashem has sex with women in the group and coerces them into sexual acts. He also arranges marriages, of course. And then some weird stuff here. Hashem also talks about space aliens, the Illuminati, and human-sized rabbits that live on other planets who keep humans as pets.
Oh my goodness.
This is really random, but the leader also takes blood from new members for a loyalty oath, and he mixes it all in a jar that he stores in a replica of the Ark of the Covenant. So,
oh my goodness.
It's disgusting. But yeah, as you can see, crazy cults happening. This guy's just making stuff up as he goes along. He's created a cult, and
people are biting. Like they're biting.
That's the crazy part. People are biting, but you know what? Islam is a cult, and Jehovah's Witnesses are a cult, and Mormons are a cult, and
yeah, brother.
It's just the latest cult, and so we're just calling it out. And that's what this episode's about. Yeah.
It's like, what are your ears itching for today?
Yeah.
Paul was clear, told Timothy, they won't have ears. They won't tolerate sound doctrine. We talk about tolerance all the time. What does tolerance mean? What does acceptance mean? And we read that there will be a day where people won't even tolerate sound doctrine. Right?
Yeah.
and they will have itching ears to hear what they want to hear and things that are pleasing to them. Which gets you to the point where it's like, well, why do I buy? It's like casting pearls before swine to a certain degree. It's like, why am I spending all this time giving you good food and trying to give you good living water and to help redeem your soul? It's like, nah, never mind.
Yeah.
You can, and so
Yeah.
But the people are biting, and so really it's, well, what is he doing now that, like, where people are biting? Because some of the things are like, you could maybe, if you're a new convert kind of thing, you could take it or leave it. It's like, okay, yeah, he's Egyptian. I don't know all the weight of that. He's from the line of Muhammad. Well, there's a lot of people related to a lot of other people, and it's like, maybe you wouldn't give it that kind of weight. But it's like, you and I both know I've commented on it because we're trying to evangelize and create. We want to find more Christians. We want to.
Yeah.
I can't make disciples if you're not converted, and but I'm trying to, and we know how hard that is. And we believe that we believe that we actually have the truth. This guy believes he has the truth. But we know that we actually have the real truth. And it's hard to grow any sort of a following, and we're usually trying not to have anyone follow us.
Yeah.
Or to come to church for the wrong reasons. And then we see with this gentleman, certain things that are being endorsed or explained away to be condoned. Proofs in general seem arbitrary, and when they're oddly specific, it still seems doable, in the sense of, we serve Jesus Christ, the way, the truth, and the life.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only way. No one comes to the Father except through me. It's so exclusive. And then you have this guy that's like, no, my standard, my criteria is it. He fits the description, but it's so general. We feel like almost anyone could fit the description. There's some narrower things, but if you work hard enough, if you're diligent and deliberate enough, could you, quote unquote, meet it?
Yeah. The thing is, like, almost anyone could fit most of the descriptions, but you still have a vast group of people that fit the rest of them.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I'm not Egyptian, but I can find a large group of Egyptians that would now fit that description. I mean, in a lot of this stuff is self-fulfilling. I mean, like I was pointing out with his beef with the Pope and flying the black flag, and then hours later he dies. Dude, the Pope has been in the hospital for the past 4 months. Capturing Christianity points this out, and so does IP and all this other stuff. It's like, that's not a miracle. That we've been wondering when he was going to die. I was praying that he wouldn't die so that the Pope would continue to make terrible decisions for the Catholic Church. So these are like self-fulfilling prophecies, and just people are just gobbling it up. These are horrible proofs. But yeah, I just wanted to bring this to the forefront because a lot of people are covering it, and yeah, there's a cult that's going on right now. It's kind of crazy. But it's good to know the craziness that's going out there, because Jesus said there will be many coming after me. And some of them are going to be doing signs and wonders. This guy's not even doing signs and wonders. He is claiming it, but real low bar from this guy. And I think the more that we laugh at him, the quicker it's going to die. So I hope that we were entertained. We were astonished. We were blown away, even at some points, at the ridiculousness of it. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I really did want to make this as summary as possible because there's a lot of information flying out there right now, and I am planning on having a bunch of stuff in the description for you guys to see some of this stuff, especially capturing Christianity, because we have the truth. We have the truth and the life. It is Jesus Christ. He has no successor, because he is Christ, and he is the high priest forever after the order of Melchizedek, and his Holy Spirit is in us, so we need no other successor than him. You can tell that this is the truth, because I've said it, and I said that I'm speaking the truth, and therefore it is true. Therefore, you must like, share, subscribe this video, so that the truth might go out. And we just appreciate all of you guys for all of that. We're going to catch you in the next episode. But as another irrefutable proof that not only is he false, but that we are the truth, is that this episode will end within a minute.